You ever wonder why Scorpios have such a powerful reputation? It's not just some astrology myth that people like to hype up. Being a Scorpio actually feels like living with a secret fire inside you. It's intense, magnetic, and sure, a little misunderstood sometimes. But once you truly step into who you are as a Scorpio, you start to realize this isn't just some sign in the stars. It's a blessing. And not just in a small way. There are at least 30 beautiful, deeply personal reasons why. First, let's talk about intuition. As a Scorpio, your ability to pick up on energy is downright eerie. You can walk into a room and immediately feel the tension, the joy, the secrets that no one's saying out loud. It's like your gut is always one step ahead of the world, tapping into currents no one else can sense. You know when someone's being fake, when something's off, or when someone is silently hurting. And you don't just feel it, you act on it. You're the one who sends a text at just the right moment or asks the question that makes someone break down in relief. That level of emotional radar is a quiet kind of magic. And then there's the emotional depth. Let's be honest, you're not built for surface level anything. You feel things in layers, like you're swimming in the deep end while everyone else is splashing around in the shallow. It's intense, yes, but it's also real. You don't run from heartbreak or fear or longing. You sit with it. You let it teach you something. And because of that, your relationships are richer. You create bonds that are soul deep. When you love someone, it's never halfway. It's all-consuming. It's unforgettable. Loyalty is another one. For you, loyalty isn't a choice. It's in your DNA. You don't give your trust easily, but when someone earns it, you're there. Fully. Always. You protect the people you care about like it's your job. And it's not some performative thing. It's quiet, behind the scenes, ride or die devotion. You'll show up at 3 a.m. if someone needs you. You'll defend them when they're not in the room, and you'll never ever let them face the world alone. That kind of loyalty is rare, and it's fierce. Let's talk about your determination. When you decide on something, really decide, it's like the universe itself starts moving in that direction. You're not loud about your goals, you don't broadcast your plans, but you move with such relentless focus that people can't help but take notice. You'll work in silence, through exhaustion and doubt, through setbacks and rejections, and still get it done. And when you finally achieve it, you don't gloat. You nod, you breathe, and then you set your eyes on the next peak. You are unstoppable, not because you shout, but because you don't stop. Your mind is another gift. Scorpios have this way of thinking that's sharp, layered, and strategic. You don't just listen, you observe. You don't just think, you analyze. You can see the hidden motives behind people's words, the subtle meanings behind their actions. You catch what others miss, sometimes in seconds. That ability to read people, to anticipate situations, to understand the unsaid. It's not just impressive, it's protective. It helps you make better choices, avoid traps, and often help others do the same. And then there's your presence. Let's not pretend otherwise. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. You don't even have to say anything. It's not about how you look or what you're wearing. It's something deeper. You carry this unspoken intensity that makes people curious, maybe even a little nervous. There's a kind of stillness to you that feels powerful, magnetic, like you're holding secrets the world wants to know. And that mystery, that's not something you put on. It's just who you are. You're also braver than most people give you credit for. You don't flinch at life's darker moments. You've walked through heartbreak, betrayal, grief, things that would shatter most people. And somehow, you emerge even stronger. Not harder, not colder, stronger. Because every time you fall apart, you rebuild yourself better. You're constantly evolving, constantly rising. That quiet resilience, it's not just a blessing, it's a weapon. Independence is another trait that makes being a Scorpio so unique. You don't need validation. You don't need a crowd. You're comfortable with yourself, even in silence. You'd rather walk alone in truth than follow the crowd in pretense. That self-trust you carry, it's liberating. And it inspires others to find that same strength within themselves. Let's not skip over creativity. People forget that Scorpios are often artistic souls, but your creativity doesn't come from imitation. It comes from emotion, from depth, from the scars you've collected and the beauty you've seen in unlikely places. Whether you're painting, writing, designing, or just telling stories, there's always soul in it. There's always something raw and unforgettable. You don't create for applause. You create because it's who you are. You also value privacy in a way that feels almost sacred. In this age of oversharing and constant noise, your ability to keep some things to yourself is a kind of rebellion. Not everyone needs to know your next move. Not everything needs to be public. You guard your world because you know peace is priceless. That silence, that solitude, it's where you recharge, where you build, where you bloom. Now let's talk about passion. You don't do anything halfway. When you care about something or someone, you go all in. Your love isn't casual. Your ambition isn't a hobby. Your dreams aren't temporary. Everything you do is infused with fire, with intensity, and that makes your life feel alive. Even when things are hard, you burn through it with purpose. Your boundaries are another gift. You don't entertain what drains you. You say no without guilt. You know your worth, and you don't apologize for protecting it. And in doing that, you give others permission to do the same. You model what self-respect looks like, and people remember that. You're fearless when it comes to self-reflection. While most people avoid looking at their flaws, you turn toward them. You want to know yourself fully, the good, the bad, the messy, and not so you can tear yourself down, but so you can grow. You're constantly shedding old skin, outgrowing old versions of yourself. That level of honesty with yourself, that's strength most people never find. Your humor is another hidden gem. It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's dark, but it's always sharp, always unexpected. You'll say something in passing and have the whole room laughing 10 seconds later, because you see the world differently. And the way you express it, it cuts through the noise in the best way. You're protective, too, of people, of truth, of integrity. You don't just sit back when someone's being mistreated. You step in, you speak up, and if someone you love is hurting, you feel it like it's happening to you. That instinct to shield others from pain, to stand up when it counts, that's what makes people feel truly safe around you. You don't play games. If you're into someone, you show it. If you're not, you don't pretend. You don't do the back and forth or the mind games. And sure, some people find that intensity intimidating, but the right people find it refreshing. Because you're honest, director, real. And in a world full of mixed signals, that clarity is rare. When it comes to love, you crave something deep, something soul-shaking, something that transforms. You don't care about checklists or appearances. You care about connection, about energy, about truth. And when you love someone, you make them feel seen in ways they've never felt before. That love, it stays with them forever. Your resilience deserves its own spotlight. Life hasn't been soft with you. You've lost. You've been let down. You've hit rock bottom more than once. But you never stay down. You learn, you rebuild, and you return, stronger, wiser, more grounded. That quiet comeback energy, it's something to be proud of. And then there's your honesty. You don't sugarcoat. You don't lie to make things easier. You say what needs to be said, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it risks everything. Because for you, truth matters. And when you give someone that kind of truth, they know they can trust you, even when it's hard to hear. You're not easy to deceive. You see through manipulation like it's glass. You can spot an agenda, a lie, a fake apology from miles away. That instinct protects you, and it protects the people around you. You're often the one whispering, "Be careful," before anyone else sees the danger. And more often than not, you're right. You inspire people in ways you may never realize. Just by being who you are, unapologetic, deep, evolving, you remind people that it's okay to feel deeply, to protect your peace, to rise from your pain. Your journey gives people permission to embrace their own. That impact, it's quiet, but it's powerful. You see what's possible even when others only see limits. You're a visionary, not because you talk big, but because you believe deeply. You trust in transformation, in change, in rebirth. And that belief, it moves mountains. You're not afraid to be alone. In fact, solitude fuels you. You use it to reflect, to heal, to create. You don't fill your time with noise. You fill it with meaning. And that self-sufficiency, it's something most people spend their whole lives chasing. You understand energy. You know when to pull back, when to protect your space. And when you give your energy to someone, it means something. It's intentional, it's powerful, and they feel it. Whether they admit it or not, you've made peace with your shadows. You're not afraid of the parts of life people don't like to talk about. Grief, fear, desire, death, rebirth. You sit with them, learn from them, and in doing so, you've become more whole, more human, more wise. And finally, when you love, it's with everything. Your soul, your body, your spirit. You don't hold back. You don't love safely. You love with wildness, with tenderness, with truth. And the people who get that love from you, they'll never find anything like it again.